And we're back just like that. Here we are, Columbus, Ohio, sitting on the edge of Dodge Skatepark, Riverside, overlooking downtown. Been coming here for years. My mom brought me here a long time ago when this place was wild. This park is old, dirty, rusty, and crusty. Designed by Tony Hawk's late father, Frank Hawk. I don't really know how much of a skate park designer he was. This is definitely an old school skate park. They don't make no more skate parks like this anywhere. There are very few even still existing. I'm working on a new blue that I've never used before. This is a slate blue. It's a little more grayed out, not as chromatic as some of the other blues that I worked on. And it fits just great because Columbus is always a bit of an overcast city in general. Gonna be drawing downtown, what small bit of skyline Columbus actually has. Riverfront, new construction, black line work. Map this out. I'm gonna start with the horizon, map out where certain things will come into and out of the frame. Like I said, there's some construction over here on the right, these odd shapes. This is basically what looks like it's going to be a future highway coming through here. As my boy Harsh would say, critical infrastructure. These pillars are no joke. Massive steel and concrete structures. Hold that highway up, keep your car safe. Columbus doesn't really have too much of a skyline. There are a handful of major buildings and some other smaller ones sprinkled in, but comparatively to a city like Chicago, Columbus's skyline is pretty we'll call it cute. Right here in the foreground we got a train bridge. There are another handful of bridges behind that. Once I get all this loosely roughed out, so before I fill in anything else, I'm going to work those sky streaks in the background. Thick, fast strokes all coming from one center point where the sun would be. Once that sky is filled in, we're going to continue working our way forward in space to cover up those edges. Clean up those edges. And so I'm coming back in with the black, and we're going to add in some thick, dark areas, lay in some of the darks, but also be cleaning up those edges and that line work, particularly where the sky is shining through behind these buildings. Since we did the black fills, I'm going to come in with the white, do some just bulk white fills, get some color balance happening throughout this piece. Fill in some of these white areas, the sides of the buildings where the sun would for sure be hitting it, and just fill that in and make it feel like a big block highlight or just stand out from the rest of the image. We definitely need some thick white areas throughout. I have a black marker that's kind of dying. It's drying up on me a little bit, and I'm going to use that as my shading brush. Certain spots need to be dark black. Certain spots just need to have some shading, particularly from one edge. It's open-ended or soft edge shading. Down towards the bottom of the piece, I have this negative space that is the river. It's a very odd shape, and this perspective from where I'm looking at it makes it even more of an odd shape. However, right now, there's no definition, so it's just an open negative space area that's the surface area of the water is really not reading quite yet. There would definitely be some light and reflections coming through this open area and hitting the surface of the water, giving you a lot of great reflections. Those reflections are going to be coming into space, making that surface area feel flat. The building standing tall, surface of the water feeling flat. It really made this, it really made the water feel like water, really starts to tie this image a lot more together. I have a second white marker that's the classic jumbo correction pen. This white is super opaque, and in one pass it will go over top of literally any other color, including black. It just kind of sticks out a little bit more than the other white. It actually has a three-dimensional element to it as well. It actually feels like it's raised off of the surface, unlike that other white I was using. Something that I stress in just about every video is when to stop without overworking the piece. And right now I feel like if I were to go too much farther, it would just become a mess. It would become sloppy and and it just wouldn't look right. And so I'm going to stop here. I have my signature up here in the top right. We have a good open spot for it. This is the third installment of the traveling Ohio drawings. It's like a postcard to myself. Anyways, C-Bus, Franklinton, Rich Street, shout out Carl. Shout out Embassy. Shout out Mike Newton. He was one of my OG Ohio friends. He would bring me to Dodge. Thank you as always for watching. I'm OJ. Like and subscribe, Juice Loops Live. I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.